Hello and welcome to a new video, finally, here on the Yoga by Candace YouTube channel. So it's been a while since I've posted an actual yoga video. That's because I moved, I've been traveling, I moved into a new studio. I opened up a yoga studio in Ridgefield, Connecticut, and it's been a while trying to get it all together. But anyway, I am back, and you should be seeing new weekly videos here on the Yoga by Candace YouTube channel once again. And I want to thank you guys for being so patient while I made this move. So today we're going to be doing a Vinyasa flow. This is probably not for beginners, but I would say intermediate level should be totally fine with this. Give it a try. Let me know how it goes in the comment section. And one other thing before we start, I also got Invisalign to correct this crooked tooth that has been bothering me literally for probably over a decade. So I am speaking with kind of a little bit of a lisp. I will do my best to enunciate, but please forgive me as we move through this video. Okay, that's about it on my end. Let's have a seat and we will start the practice. So beginning seated on your mat, you can sit any way that's comfortable for you. Roll your shoulders back and bring your hands to prayer position here, also called Anjali Mudra. Go ahead and close your eyes, tilt your chin until you feel like it's parallel to the ground, and then take a deep breath in through your nose. And exhale through your mouth with a sigh, go. Begin to move your upper back slightly back, then maybe a little more forward, just until you find that spot where it feels like your head is in line with the base of your spine. Then bring your awareness to the base of your spine, and as you inhale, follow the breath all the way up through the crown of the head, feeling yourself grow taller as you do so. And exhale, allow any stress that you're carrying with you right now to just melt away. Nowhere else to be, nothing else to do. Allowing yourself to be totally present through the practice. As you inhale, go ahead and open up your eyes and bring your hands to your knees. You're going to cup the knees and round the back as you draw the chin towards the chest. Inhale, bring the heart forward, take your gaze up about 45 degrees. This is seated cat-cow. Exhale, we'll again round the back, and you can kind of pull on the knees a bit to get a little bit more traction, and then inhale, pull yourself forward, bringing your chest forward, taking your gaze up 45 degrees. I'll turn so you can get a better angle, and we'll just move like this with your breath. So as you inhale, you'll come forward, bringing your chest forward, taking your gaze up, and as you exhale, you'll round the back, lowering chin to chest. Moving just like this for 2 more times. Taking the liberty of pausing anywhere that you need a little bit more of a stretch. And exhale, round. Coming to sit up nice and tall for a neutral spine, we'll take the left hand off the legs and maybe halfway away from you. Then lift your other arm up overhead. And as you exhale, bend at your left elbow to extend even more. But if your hip is coming off the ground, push into your hand so that both hips stay firmly rooted on the ground, and then see if you can draw your arm up in line with your ear. So long as there isn't any pinching, try to do that. If there is pinching, you can let it come away, or you can take it wider. And then from here, you'll take your gaze out underneath your arm and try to find length from the top of your hip bone all the way up through the fingertips. And then from here, we'll just bow ever so slightly. So we'll round the chest a bit, round the upper back, and then inhale, open the chest, and take your gaze way up, and then go back and forth just like that a few times, adding in a little bit of a twisting action for the spine, as we're also in this lateral movement as well. One last time. And then as you inhale, rise back up. Roll your shoulders a few times. Roll them forward. And we'll take it over to the other side. So you'll take your right hand about halfway down away from you, lift your left arm up overhead. Bring the arm in line with the ear if that feels okay, and then begin to push into your hand just to make sure your hips are grounded. Breathe in, find length. And exhale, reach over a little bit more, but trying to maintain that length through your side body as well. Once again, closing the chest and then opening. So close by rounding the upper back, open by twisting up to the sky. Close. Inhale, open and twist. Close. Open and twist. Last time here. And then coming back to center. From here, bring your right foot out in front of you and then take your fingertips down to the ground. Inhale to find length and exhale to fold forward. I'm just gonna briefly awaken the hips here. So rise back up. We'll bring the right foot in, take the left foot out, fingertips come down to the ground. Inhale, lengthen up through the spine. Exhale, fold forward, keeping both hips on the ground. And as always, option to move around and find what feels good here. As you inhale, rise back up, and from here we're going to take our hands back behind us just a little bit. Fingers can point away from you. You're going to press into the hands to lift the hips up, reach the heart up to the sky. Let your head go back if that feels okay. Otherwise, you're just going to stay gazing forward. And breathe here, opening up through the shoulders, opening up through the chest, and exhale, gently release. As you inhale, we'll find our way into a wide knee child's pose. So you can take your knees as wide as the mat, or as wide as feels good, and extend your arms out in front of you. Begin to actively press into the forearms, and maybe you'll kind of go side to side like I am, to begin to awaken the armpits and the chest. So we're just trying to warm everything up, get the body moving here, get the blood going. And then come to stillness. See what happens when you press your elbows into the ground, turn your palms up to the sky. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, bring your hands to prayer position and reach your fingers up to the sky by pressing your elbows into the mat for a nice tricep stretch. Allow your shoulders to relax down with each exhale. And then from here, we'll slowly bring the arms down, opening up the arms about shoulder distance. Inhale and round through your back, finding your way onto all fours. So from here, we'll just warm up the wrists. You can take one hand and bring the top of the hand down to the mat, fingers pointed towards you. And then just play with the amount of pressure, play with some movement side to side. Find what's going to work for you, what's going to warm up your wrist. And then switch sides. And bringing the fingers to point out in front. Now we will turn the fingers so they go out to the side. And maybe going side to side like this, left to right. Maybe making some circles. Switching direction. And then point the fingers towards you. And we'll gently go back and forth. You want to be real gentle here. And then come back to center. From here, as you inhale, we will extend the right leg, pointing the toes down to the ground, spinning inner right thigh up towards the sky. Extend the left arm once you have your balance. And then we'll create little circles with both the arm and the leg. Change direction. I feel like this is one of those things where you like pat your head with one hand and rub your belly with the other. I'm like really challenged doing this. And then we will float the hand and the knee back down to the mat. Take a deep breath and do it all over again on the other side. So extending left leg, pointing left toes down towards the mat, spinning inner left thigh up towards the sky. We'll reach the right arm forward, activate the arm, spread the fingers, find your sense of balance, and then create your circles. Really try to use your glute and your hamstrings to make these circles with the leg. And then we'll switch, go the other way. And then gently release. And from here we will curl the toes, reach the hips back. Pausing here for a sec, taking a deep breath in. And exhale, lifting the hips up towards the sky for your first downward dog of the day. So very first one, not totally warmed up here yet, so pedal the legs out. Let one elbow come in after the other. Let your head hang heavy, shake it out. Inhale, rise up under your toes, and exhale, reach your heels down towards the ground. No worries if they don't get there. Bend your knees as much as you need to in order to feel good. But if you do bend your knees, just make sure that you are really actively trying to press your heels down to the ground so that your hamstrings are kind of activated and fired on. As you inhale, we'll lift the right leg high, spread the toes. As you exhale, come forward, knee in towards your forehead, shoulders over wrists, round your upper back. Hold here for a breath. And exhale, plant your right foot down. Rising up for high lunge, we will exhale and sink the hips a little lower. Take a deep breath in. And then on your next inhale, we'll send left arm forward, right arm back. Taking your gaze out back behind you. Continue the circles with the arms, bringing them all the way up to the top. We'll do that 2 more times. And then bring hands to heart center. Bend your back knee. Press through the front heel and step to the front of the mat. Bringing the left knee out in front of you, activate the foot. Hips are even. Extend your left leg out in front of you, no worries if it doesn't come straight. And then we'll swing it back behind and step back for the high lunge once again. Lifting the arms up overhead, take a deep breath in. Exhale, plant the hands down on the ground, step back for plank pose. Use your toes to come forward and come down halfway. Inhale, lift up, upward facing dog. Exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths here. On your next inhale, we'll lift the left leg high, spread the toes. As you come forward, shoulders over wrists, knee into forehead, round your upper back. Hold here for a sec. Lower the left foot down on the ground. Inhale and rise up, reaching the arms up overhead. Exhale, sink the hips. Bring the hands to prayer position. Now on your next inhale, we'll reach the right arm forward, left arm back, taking your gaze out behind you. We'll make some big circles here. So arms come all the way up at the top of the circle 2 more times, and really rotate through your torso as you do this as well. So as the left arm goes back, you rotate through the torso. Come back. Hands to heart center. Bend your back knee, take a deep breath in. Push through your left heel to rise up. Spread the toes, activate the right leg. Activate the left leg as well so that you're standing nice and tall and stable. Extend your right leg, no worries if it doesn't come straight. Use your core, use your hip flexors, and then slowly step back for high lunge. Lifting the arms up overhead once again, acknowledge the pose, and then exhale, float the hands down to the mat and step back for plank pose. As you inhale, come forward and lower down halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Taking 3 deep breaths here. Inhale, rise up onto the toes, bend the knees. Look between the thumbs, step or hop to the front of the mat. As you inhale, halfway lift, and as you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms up overhead, and exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift the arms, and then hook the thumbs, lean back, pressing your hips forward, lifting through your heart. Exhale, fold forward, fingers in line with your toes, bend your knees as much as you need to. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back. We're gonna go right into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Notice how the backs of your legs feel now compared to at the beginning of your practice. As you inhale, lift your right leg high. And as you exhale, come forward, shoulders over wrists, knee into forehead. Round your back, hold here, spread toes, and then float the right foot down to the front of the mat. As you inhale, we will lift just the right arm for a little twist. Lower the hips a bit and ground through your right heel. As you push through your right heel, that's going to activate the glute. You're going to press up, finding your way back into that little twist. From here, float your right fingertips down to your left thigh, lift your left arm, even more, reach your heart forward. Then from here, windmill your hands down, sending just the fingertips there. Spider your fingers forward, rise up. From here, we're going to open up through the hip. Maybe we will open up through the left arm. For half moon pose. Couple breaths. Find your sense of balance. If you fall, no worries. From here, float the left fingertips back down to the ground. We'll step back for that high lunge, rise up, arms up overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down to frame the front foot and step back for high plank. Round through the upper back and then use your toes to come forward, come down halfway. Inhale, lift up, upward facing dog. And exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog for 3 breaths. As you inhale, lift your left leg, spread the toes, rise up high on the ball of the right foot. Come forward, shoulders over wrists, round through the upper back, knee in towards your forehead, hold here, and then slowly float the left foot down to the ground. From here, we're gonna sink the hips a bit, press through your press through your left heel to activate the left glute, and then lift the left arm. Once you find your sense of balance, continue to press through the left heel to rise up. Ooh. And then float the left fingertips to the right thigh, lifting the right arm, reaching your heart forward. Right fingertips come back behind you. And from here, we will windmill the hands down, just the fingertips come to the mat. Spider the fingers forward as you lift up through the back leg. Find your sense of balance here before you open up through the hips. Right toes point out to the right, activate standing left leg, and then lift your right arm. I apologize if I sound like Darth Vader on the mic. I'm getting over a cold. We'll bring the right hand back down to the ground, square the hips, and step back for your high lunge, rising up. And exhale, bring the hands down to the ground, step back, high plank. From here, we're gonna lower all the way down to the ground. And then just the fingertips are going to come onto the mat as we use our back body strength to lift up and slowly lower back down. Curl toes, keep the knees on the ground, push the hips back for child's pose. Breathe into the bottoms of the feet. See if you can get the pinky toes down onto the mat. And then we will uncurl the toes and rise to sit up on the shins. From here, roll your shoulders back, bringing your hands down to your thighs. Go ahead and close your eyes. Just taking a second to acknowledge your practice. And then when you're ready, go ahead and quietly open up your eyes, walk your hands out in front of you, and curl your toes, lift up for downward facing. Begin to walk your hands back to your feet. Bend your knees a little bit and then heel toe the feet open just a little bit wider than hip distance and grab opposite elbows. Letting your head hang heavy, bring your awareness to the bottoms of the feet, and as you inhale, follow the breath all the way up to the hips. And as you exhale, melt your upper body over your legs, allowing your head to be heavy, whole upper body is heavy. Maybe you'd like to sway side to side. And then let your arms drop with a thud. Bend your knees even more, around through your low back, around through your upper back. Keep knees bent as you come up one vertebrae at a time. And find yourself into Tadasana at the back of your mat. Roll your shoulders back. Allow your hands to hang naturally slightly in front of your body. Go ahead and close your eyes and just ground yourself once again. Bringing your hands to heart position. Just taking a second to acknowledge your practice. And give thanks for your health and your commitment to the practice. When you're ready, go ahead and open up your eyes. And that'll do it. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'd like to let you know that we do have an app now available, our new app. You can just search YogaByCandace, one word, in the App Store. I'm also leading a bunch of yoga teacher training programs this year, so check out YogaByCandace.com to see where we'll be, and if you'd like to join us, please get in touch. And don't forget my book, Namaste, is available on Amazon, at Barnes & Noble, and most major bookstores everywhere. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you very soon here on the YBC YouTube channel.